Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. And you know what, not Breeze Harbor, I could go there. But actually I'm gonna go to Zephyr, simply because I like the name Zephyr better than Breeze Harbor. Also because if I remember correctly, I don't think I like Breeze Harbor. I don't dislike Breeze Harbor, but I like Zephyr better. So we're going to go to Zephyr, because I said so. Maggot. Actually, that actually fits, because this is an army zone. It's actually the only world that's not peaceful. Or, I mean, the other worlds are under... The other worlds are being unpeacefulized by some reason, but, like, this world is actively at war. It's World of Warcraft. Oh, no. Oh, he didn't die, he just ended us, and... I don't know what these things are. Back in the day when I played this game, this was around the time when, obviously, Super Mario 64 was, it had been out for a while at that point, obviously, but when I played this, because I was never a big fan of Super Mario 64, but I had played, like, Bob on Battlefield, so when I was doing this level, in this game, I'm like, oh yeah, it's like Bob on Battlefield, and so that I always remember this. I always remembered it simply because I always remembered it was like Bob on, or I remembered it being like Bob on Battlefield, or it had there was a war type area, so it's kind of like how your memory works, where basically, okay, for example, at one point I was doing the War Temple and at a time, while at the same time my friend was playing Portal 2, and I feel like most people have played it at this point, but just to be safe for spoilers, there was a portion where something happens, there's like a spoiler scene, and there's a whole dialogue about it, and basically speaking, whenever I do the War Temple, or whenever I think of the War Temple, I think of that dialogue word for word happening while I was doing the actions. Like, basically, that you end up remembering certain things based on certain other things that happened at the time. And it's kind of a cool. That's how I remember a lot of stuff. Is I don't so much remember the thing exactly, but more like, oh yeah, this happened because at the same time we were doing this, and then this happened because of that. You know, I remember things in conjunction with other things. I can't get those birds. It's kind of funny how the war zone is between globs and chickens. The cute little chicks are kind of cool, but they're deadly. Yeah, these guys are not. I killed one of them, I think, but I can't get all of them to come down, so I'll worry about them later. I want to kill them, though, because, again, I want to kill all the enemies. This is also a pretty cool world, in terms of design. I mean, it's not too complex, but it's kind of got a cool design to it, and it's got a nice blue sky and chickens. Freaky-looking chickens when they swallow missiles. They go along. Okay, more gems. I can't really do anything at this pot, which I can't do anything with. Oh, there, now he's charging at me. Are you gonna do it again? Come on, bird. Fight me. Okay, actually, I think I need to talk to this guy.
Dang cannon just ain't working for me. You think you can blast that bird, soldier?
I think I could, because I'm Spyro the Dragon. Okay, cool, we get cannons. This isn't too bad. Go a little lower. I'm clearly not getting. I'm not even getting close. No, did I hit? No, I didn't hit it. Wow. Ah, there we go. Okay, now, I want to hit that balloon. There we go. That's how you get that one. This music in this world is also actually pretty good, too. Yeah, anytime I like the music in the world, I'll tell you, and every time I think it's just kind of meh, I'll tell you. But again, I mean, it's meh more so because I guess there's no catchy tune to it. Usually what you like in video game music, at least I find, is the melodies. The melodies are the big thing, and usually atmospheric tunes don't so much, they're either lighter or the melody's not as, like, you know, the catchiest songs are the ones with the catchy melodies. Oh, wait. Okay, I need to be a little bit farther back, I guess, to have them attack me. Oh, I killed him somehow? Cool. Or maybe he blew himself up, I don't know. But yeah, But that's the thing, I guess that's the thing, that reason why the Banjo-Tooie songs are more memorable is because they are more memorable and more catchy, and just, I like them better, because I think people tend to like, you know, catchy melodies, or just good melodies, better than, I mean, it's not that these music has like all harmony, but the melody isn't as prominent in some of them. This one definitely, this one more so than other songs in this game. It's not a bad thing though. Like I said, they're varieties to spice of life. That's my new catchphrase as well. I'm still gonna use balance as key, but I feel like the more I think about it, you know, sometimes I wonder, why do we like criticize other people for liking certain things? I mean, sometimes it's, you know, I've said, oh, it's because you want to better your own opinion, and you want to not really criticize them, but you want to examine why do they like that, so you can understand why you don't like it, or why you think the way you do, by examining why people think the way they do. But at the same time, when it comes down to it, sometimes it's just taste. Sometimes people, there's no real, there might be a reason, but the reason is simply they just like it. There's no other reason to it. So, you know, variety's the spice of life. People are gonna like things because they like them, and if it's not hurting anything, you know, let people have their fun. Now, if it's hurting someone, then it's hurting someone, well, but if it's causing, okay, for example, sometimes I'll get on about like certain things with games because I don't like where that could cause a direction to head. Like, for example, DLC. I don't want to make a whole big thing about DLC, but there's definitely positive DLC, as in like after the game's done, you can allow for downloadable content that could really add to a game after it's been done to, you know, add more stuff like new maps and stuff. And then there's downloadable content where basically you release the game with a missing segment of the game. Like, for example, I think there's like a racing game where you can release it. I think there's a new Ridge Racer. Not that series is any good, but there's a new Ridge Racer coming out that has like, I think it's for the Vita actually. Because basically the other night we were going through a bunch of launch games for different systems, me and my friends, and one of them was, and most of the game, Ridge Racer releases on most of the systems, and wow, there's a ton of enemies. This is a pretty big world. It's pretty huge, but tons of bombs too. It makes sense though, it's a war zone, so I mean, it matches that there'd be tons of chaos. But yeah, basically like there's only 3 tracks, and then the rest of the tracks are downloadable content. It's like you're releasing a game, but you're planning on having downloadable content, so you're basically releasing the game kind of half-finished, or like, even though it was basically a way of making sure people bought the game, the Arkham City had the Catwoman DLC, a big portion of the game, but you had to either buy it or buy the game and then get the code with it. And it's like, that's the kind of DLC I wouldn't like. That's the kind of DLC that, you know, okay, it's one thing to say, oh, people want to have DLC, let them have it, you don't have to buy it, but it's like, okay, but no, that actually hurts the industry if people start, you know, there's the time to be vocal, and there's the time to just be like, it's not that big a deal. And the key is knowing when is just, you know, people like it that way, and when is to be like, okay, no, this could actually be a problem, and know how to also react when it comes to, or know how to, I guess, react when you discover the situation, because freaking out about it doesn't help things. Not that I'm always not that I have the same issues other people have. You know, it's like you can recognize what you're supposed to do or what's right. It doesn't mean you always do it in practice, because everyone has flaws. Anyway, that's the end of this area, but I don't think we haven't even got a single orb. This is a huge world from the looks of it.
Wow! What an explosion! It sure is a good thing I had my
Yes, because your helmet is the only. I think it's more the fact that you guys seem to be like blobs, and a guy eating a bomb doesn't kill him, but like a helmet would not protect you from a whole warehouse exploding. I like how the Zephyr talisman is like a bomb. Kind of cool. But yeah. So you remember, variety is the spice of life. Also paprika. But anyway. So I think this area is done. Not this world, but that one section. I got all the gems in there. This like, if I was staring at the minimap, I feel like it would be huge, because this world, like, there's still a lot of places I didn't explore. I know these things. I remember these things. We're not gonna, I don't think we're gonna, well, maybe we'll get to them, but I'm gonna do them last, just because I don't really feel like dealing with them right now. They're kind of, if you look at them, they're like elephant giraffes. Like, I mean, you could say they're kind of have because they move like cows. They have the spots that are, I guess they're kind of cow spots, but they kind of look like they're brown, and they kind of look like giraffe spots. I know giraffe spots aren't exactly like that, but then they had elephant trucks.
What light from yonder window breaks? That window up there, dummy. The professor said he was working on a way to help me get back with Juliet, but I haven't seen him in a long time.
Why is the professor helping out these guys, of all the things he could be doing with his life? But anyway, yes, Romeo and Juliet is a bird. They're warring families. And we must help reunite them, simply because we want orbs, not for any other reason. And I think, I don't know what game it was, but I think it was Skyward Sword. They're like, why are we helping out these random people with their side quests? Why you're trying to save the world? It's not important to do these side quests. It's like, well, I mean, all games do that. The only reason we're reuniting Romeo and Juliet is because they give us orbs. Otherwise, I mean, you could say it's the right thing to do. I've yet to find a game that, honestly, there's games that do a lot of moral alignment, but there's yet to be a game that you actually do something for someone in a game. Maybe there is. I can't think of one off the top of my head. But you actually want to do it. Like, you could say, in Zelda, or Skyward Sword, for example, when I played that, I wanted to find Zelda for Link because I could tell there's a real connection. I was actually intrigued about what would happen when you found her. But it wasn't so much that I was doing it because I wanted, I mean, I guess to an extent, but I'm talking about more so in terms of, like, games like Fable. I feel like I do it more, or I don't play that game, but if I was to do it, I don't own the game, but if I was to do that, I would be more to just,
triangle button will make this easier. Oh, and if you ever need
now
your
he's
seed
explaining
back,
seeds.
just the plant, and it will turn back into a seed again.
Pretty interesting mechanic actually that they added here, but that, you know, in that game, I would feel like more just doing the good stuff just to get all the good stuff, do all the good tasks just to get 100%, not so much because it's the right thing to do. No, I can't do that there. I wanted to go get that. There's another seed. Maybe there's another. Oh, let's try here. Let's try here. See if I can get up there from this one. Can I do it? No, I cannot reach that. Then I must, yeah, I guess, okay. No, there's no way I can get up there, even if you attempt to jump early. So, there must be another place, I think, for this scene, so we will go search for that. But, yeah, that's the, what was I talking about? I've lost track of my thoughts. But yeah, yeah, I'd be interested in seeing. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing a game that actually made you want to help people, and choose the good option. Like, not choose the good and bad option just to try both options. Just choose a good option because that's what you want to do. Though I will admit there's one in Oblivion, and I told my friends this story because basically my friend was doing an Oblivion side quest for like the Dark Brotherhood, and basically he was going to kill this one woman, and when he got to her, she was like, "Oh, you're from the gift giving service. Here, I'm going to give you a list of all my family members so you can give them gifts." And then you kill her and take the list. Then you go, and that's not even the worst part. Then you go and you go to her son, who was the first one of the people on the list. She's like, "Okay, my son's kind of fallen in the rough crowd, so I wanted to give him this armor, and inscribed on it, I wanted to say, from Mom, I'll always be with you." And I like hear this, and I'm like, you know what? That's just evil. That's like honestly the worst thing I've ever heard someone do. And obviously, I guess I don't play many of those games because I'm probably sure you could easily do more evil things. But that just like breaks my heart a little bit. Like hearing you murdering all these people. So like that's an example of something that emotionally makes me not want to do that, because I honestly feel like that's like literally not just exaggerating. I don't think I would want to do that in game. So I almost feel like I want to see more of that, like something, but having you do options more so, because I feel like from what I've seen of Fable, there's not really anything to make you feel really desperately bad about it. Maybe that's the main way we can make a moral conflict game better, is to be like, okay, how do we make people actually have a moral conflict? And also, like, it's like video games, so it's not so much like they're doing... If in real life, okay, they would have a moral conflict if they had to choose between killing their mother or killing their sister. But how do you do it in a video game? You know, how do you do it? How do you actually make people really care about the characters? You just make the situation really awful, or kind of like what I just described? We had to get to the professor, I'm assuming, because he probably has some seeds. I could have just walked up there. Why didn't I do that?
Well done, my boy! Here are 2 more seeds to get you the rest of the way.
Yay! Oh, and he gives me an orb. So yeah, this is another one of those halfway things. Wait, is it... And then there's still the herding. How many orbs are there in this level? Wait, what ones did I did, what have I done? I did this one. Did I do another quest with someone else for orbs? Or is it just the herd? I guess there's just... Maybe there's multiple portions of herding, because I guess I feel like... I guess it's the can that's throwing me off, because I was like, I felt like I talked to someone else about something, but I guess I was just using the can. I don't think I did. I think this is the first orb quest I'm doing. So, there's 2 sections for this, and then there might be... multiple. And I'm saying herding, basically, that's what you have to do with those cow things, if I remember correctly. And there we go. Juliet. We've saved you.
Romeo? Romeo? Wherefore art thou, Romeo? Oh, there's Romeo. You can have this. I don't need it anymore.
A, why couldn't you go down there from the beginning? B, let's just go to... Let's just move on. There's no words for that guy's voice. Or... it's not even the fact that they're both guys, it's the fact that... Or the fact that that looks like a female bird. It's the fact that that guy has a really horrendously wacky voice. I'm just... Let's go play with giraffes. Cows. I don't even know what they are. Actually, no, at first, I think I missed something. Is this the way to... Because when I first... There was 2 doors at the can, and I didn't... No, this is a new area. Holy crap, this world is large. This is a really large world. That's a bad thing, but it's just really big. The biggest one so far, I think. The biggest in all of the land. Are we going to keep getting gems? Gems are definitely worth getting because money bags will probably charge us for more stuff. But I think at this point, I think this is a point in the game where basically you're gonna get, if you do get all the gems in the world, you'll never worry about not having enough for money bags at this point. Because like I already got everything in on plains, and by the time I go to Winter Tundra, I'll have enough for money bags. I mean, he does appear a few times in the worlds, but even then, another one of these pots. Okay, it's over there. It's over there. Ow. Hey. Generally speaking, why are you fighting me? I'm not a globby glob thing, I'm a Spyro the Dragon. Not really. They don't even really explain why the birds and the globs have a conflict. Then again, they don't really explain why the bombs have a conflict either. Because, like, I feel like in Bomb Battlefield in Mario 64, was it because of Bowser, or was it just because... Like, it felt like the way it was that the Bob-omb King was just... I think maybe he was in cahoots with Bowser at some point, but I think he was just, like... I don't even know. I don't even remember. I don't remember if it was that the Bob... I know the Red Bob buddies were, like, buddies with Mario. Maybe the Bob-ombs were in cahoots, and then the King Bob-omb just took over the Red Bob-omb's land. I feel like that's the only world that actually had a story, and... Was there... I guess the one main one, like Super Mario 64 didn't have a lot of designants of the different lands. The only one that actually had like people who lived in the land was like Bob-omb Battlefield, and that actually had a backstory. Maybe there's another one I'm forgetting, but I kind of almost wish there was more backstories to some of those worlds. I think they would have made Super Mario 64 a little bit more interesting if you had more citizens that populated. like TikTok Clock could have had like Clockmen or something, or similar to like how the Galaxy has like the gear modes. They could have just had gear modes. That would have made it a little more interesting. But you know, it was the N64. It was like the first 3D game. I can't really say you expect like tons of characters everywhere. Okay, that's how much I. So yeah, I think I'm running. I think I'm pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna have to extend this to next video. So I'm going to go. Oh, that's the wrong way. Go to where the herding is, and I will do the herding next time. That's what I'm going to decide. Maybe I'll do one of the speedways too to add in with the herding. So I've been Maker Figure for 100, and I am reminding you that I would love a pet elephant, cow, giraffe thing. Those are kind of cute. They're kind of cute. Yeah.